You know that feeling when you've been staring at your laptop for 20 minutes, cursor blinking, assignment due tomorrow, and you just can't start? Yeah, me too. Last semester, I had a research paper that I avoided for 2 weeks. Every time I opened the document, my brain would literally scream at me to do anything else. Check my phone, reorganize my desk, suddenly decide I needed a snack. But then, I stumbled on something that changed everything. It's called the 3-minute rule. And no, this isn't some hustle culture nonsense. This is actual neuroscience that tricks your brain into wanting to work. Let me show you.
So here's what's actually happening when you can't start a hard task. Your brain has this tiny almond-shaped part called the amygdala. Its job? Protect you from threats. And here's the crazy part. Your amygdala sees that essay, that math problem, that studying session as a threat. Because hard tasks trigger uncertainty, they trigger potential failure, they trigger discomfort. So your amygdala freaks out and pumps stress signals through your body. That tight feeling in your chest, that sudden urge to scroll TikTok, that's your brain trying to escape the perceived danger. And the longer you avoid it, the scarier it becomes. You've probably felt this, right? The task grows bigger in your mind, until starting feels like climbing a mountain. But what if I told you there's a way to completely bypass that fear response?
Enter the 3-minute rule. Here's how it works. When you face a task you've been avoiding, you make a deal with yourself. I only have to do this for 3 minutes. After that, I can stop. No guilt, no judgment. That's it. 3 minutes. Not an hour, not until it's done, just 3 minutes. Now, you might be thinking that's not going to get anything done. And you're right, kind of. But here's the thing. You're not trying to finish the task. You're trying to start it. Because once you start, something magical happens in your brain.
When you commit to just 3 minutes, you remove the biggest barrier, the fear of commitment. Your amygdala calms down. Because 3 minutes? That's not threatening. That's manageable. So you start. And within those first few minutes, your brain releases a tiny hit of dopamine. That's the reward chemical. It kicks in just from taking action. But it gets better. There's this thing in psychology called the Zeigarnik effect. Basically, once you start something, your brain hates leaving it unfinished. It creates this low-level tension, this itch to keep going. So what happens after your 3 minutes are up? Most of the time, you just keep working. Not because you forced yourself, but because the momentum pulled you forward. Your brain shifted from, this is scary, to, okay, this isn't so bad. And suddenly, the task that felt impossible 5 minutes ago, you're halfway through it. I've used this on essays, studying sessions, even cleaning my room, and it works every single time. Not because I have insane willpower, but because I hacked the part of my brain that was stopping me.
Now, I know what some of you are thinking. What if I still feel stuck after 3 minutes? What if my brain is too fried? I get it. And that's why there's a second layer to this that most people miss. Let me explain.
The 3-minute rule works best when you pair it with what I call the stupid simple start. This is key, because a lot of us fail before we even begin. We try to start with the hardest part, like, okay, I'm gonna write the introduction to this essay. No, stop. Your brain is already resisting because that sounds hard. Instead, you make the first action so stupidly simple that your brain can't say no. Here's what I mean. Let's say you need to study biology. Don't say, I'm going to study chapter 7. Instead say, I'm going to open my textbook to chapter 7. That's it. Just open it. Or let's say you need to write an essay. Don't say, I'm going to write my intro. Say, I'm going to type one sentence, any sentence. You're lowering the activation energy. You're removing friction. Because the hardest part of any task isn't doing it. It's starting it. And once you've done that stupid simple action, the 3-minute rule kicks in. You open a textbook, you skim a paragraph, suddenly you're highlighting, then taking notes, then 20 minutes have passed and you didn't even notice. You type one sentence, then another, Then you're in flow. This is how you trick your brain into thinking work is easy. Because you never lied to it. You really did only commit to 3 minutes. You really did only open the book. Everything after that, bonus.
Let me give you a real example from last week. I had to film a video, but I was dreading it. My room was a mess, I felt tired, my brain was like, nah, we're not doing this today. So I used the rule. I said, I'm just gonna set up my camera. That's it. No filming, no script, just set it up. So I did. And while I was adjusting the angle, I thought, okay, I'll just test the lighting. Then I checked the audio. Then I was like, I could just film the intro just to see how it feels. And before I knew it, I'd filmed the whole thing. Not because I hustled through resistance, but because I let momentum carry me. That's the beauty of this. You're not fighting your brain, you're working with it. You're respecting the fact that starting is hard, and you're giving yourself permission to stop. But most of the time, you won't want to.
Now, real talk. Some of you are going to try this and mess it up. Here's how. Mistake number 1. You set a timer and then stress about the timer. No, don't do that. This isn't a workout. You're not racing the clock. Just tell yourself, 3 minutes, then I can stop. Keep it loose. Mistake number 2, you pick a task that's way too vague. I'm going to study for 3 minutes. Study what? Where? How? Be specific. I'm going to read page 42 and take 1 note. Mistake number 3, you stop exactly at 3 minutes even though you're in flow. Listen, if you're vibing and momentum is building, don't stop. The 3 minutes is just the entry point. Ride the wave as long as it lasts. The rule is there to get you started, not to limit you.
Look, I know productivity advice can feel exhausting. Like there's always another hack, another system, another thing you're supposed to do. But this is different because it's not about doing more. It's about making starting easier. And once you remove that first barrier, everything else flows. You don't need discipline. You don't need motivation. You just need 3 minutes. 3 minutes to open the book. 3 minutes to type 1 sentence. 3 minutes to prove to your brain that this thing you've been avoiding, it's not actually a monster. And I promise you, once you start using this, you're gonna feel something shift. That task you've been dreading for days, you'll knock it out in an hour. That project you thought was impossible, you'll be halfway done before you even realize it. Because you stopped waiting for the perfect moment. You stopped waiting to feel motivated. You just gave yourself permission to start small, and that's all it takes. So here's your challenge. Tonight or tomorrow morning, pick one thing you've been avoiding, just one, and commit to 3 minutes. Not the whole thing, just 3 minutes. I want you to see how it feels. I want you to prove to yourself that this works. And if you actually do it, drop a comment and tell me what task you tackled. I want to hear your wins. Let's stop letting our brains hold us hostage. Let's start small. Start messy, but start. You got this. I'll see you in the next one.